Greetings, entities and guardians. My name is HyperHimes and welcome back to Cookie Run Kingdom, where in this video I actually want to do a little bit of an overview video about a new cookie that was released recently, which surprisingly is not the Awakened White Little cookie. It was the other cookie that's the true cohort behind, Silent Salt cookie, being Cellar
I can always see the warm lights of Snowfall Village.
That's her name. And of course, we were also given access to Charcoal Cookie, but, he's not the cohort with Silent Salt. It's actually Salt Cellar Cookie, because she's supposed to be, the original, head of the Calanamic Guards, like the Knights and stuff like that. So I want to overlook, where she is, and I want to go over a bunch of her quotes, her story, use her in battle, if she's actually, worth it or not, and all that stuff. Now, of course, I won't be reading comments in this video, which is pretty unfortunate, because, I know people like to hear my opinions on certain things, but still, if you want to leave your questions and comments down in the comment section below for me to read down the videos, and feel free to do so, because it could be a random question, a random comment, a random fact, something about me, something about the game, something entirely different. It doesn't even matter, because as long as I'm having a fun time at the end of the day, and we appreciate being around each other from community to creator and creator to community, then that's what matters the most. Speaking of which, where the pleb is Salt Cellar? For all I know, she could be just working on some random building that she's been assigned to, but I have no idea. Oh, is that her right there? Yeah, she's just sweeping. A lot of people have been saying, ooh, Queen, this is the best cookie right here. I'm just like, really? I'm not trying to be offensive, but I'm just like, really? I wonder how, don't get me wrong, she's got girl boss energy, let's be honest. But, I'm curious, because now it has, my brain peaked. Oh, there you are, right there. Alright, so, of course, you just, you look so solemn, and yet when I pick you up, there's it's like literally a salt shake. You pick her up, there's a small gleam of salt trailing right below her. It's kind of sad because of that expression that she has, but I'm just saying, I'll just put you back. Nope. Oh, you actually stood down firmly. I like it was drop. You pause in the air just to do a big stomp. If I were to sit you down, because I'm pretty sure you have the stress that's made of metal, you kind of just you kind of slide off there, but you just solemnly look down. It's because you have one eye that works and one eye that doesn't, but it looks somewhat like you're kind of sleepy. I ought to give you a nice bed or something. Anywho, let's go ahead and just read up some of your quotes, because I am curious and as to how you operate. Because honestly, other than a tiny bit of the BC store, I have little to no reading on your personality other than back when you were alive.
I don't expect anything in return.
Well, that's already terrifying. And by the way, she's sweeping with one hand. That's kind of powerful. But what's kind of sad is that gives me vibes of when, Silent Salt ended up seeing everyone perish within his Calanamic Guard stuff. And even though, the spirits still call out to him, I guess maybe that's their, unwavering faith that Charcoal Cookie was speaking of.
I've welcomed countless kindred in arms.
Of course, that's referring to the, the Calanamic Knights, welcoming countless kindred, people who are assigned to the knightlyhood, because, ruled over with the Silent Salt, because, solidarity, all that stuff. She has a big heart of respect.
Wield your sword for the downtrodden.
So I'm assuming that just means fight for the dead. Or at least equip your sword for the dead, which, to be fair, she's definitely got a lot of heart, even though it seems like she's soulless. No offense, but that's kind of sad. Which, now that I think about it, if I were, I should probably do that. I'll do that later, but do you have any you do have a conversation with Silent Salt. I'll do that after we finish with all of your quotes over here, which we probably won't get through every single one of them, but we'll get through a decent amount.
Welcome back.
Well, this is the first time I'm encountering you, but that'd be kind of eerie to hear if I were just to open up the game, and all of a sudden just you just suddenly say that all out of the blue. That actually kind of freaked me out. Personalized cookie run.
The sick, the poor, the abandoned. All our comrades in solidarity.
You know what? It's weird when she says that. It reminds me of the cookies, a part of the Cookie Odyssey, who are the less than fortunate cookies. She is really trying to go towards Silent Salt right now. I know you want to speak to him. Don't get me wrong, I know. I just want to get through some of this stuff first. It's fine.
Not once have I lost sight of my purpose.
You mean being the head, Silent Salt's best person? Because I can understand why you would always have sight of that. Because, it seems even in death and back in life. And what was that? It's like you robotically moved your arm right there and then you just stamped it back down. And now you're just taking a deep breath. Or just taking time to process things. These are what is that supposed to be? Stretching? Because these are odd and weird, but yet in a weird mystic way.
Wield your sword for the downtrodden. Wield your sword. I don't expect anything in return.
I've heard these quotes before.
Show me where your solidarity lies.
Well, I'm pretty sure I could... I mean... I'm a very trustworthy person, I can tell you that much. Let me tell you, I barely know the definition of solidarity, because no one uses that term ever as of recent times. That's why I just believe in loyalty, it's a lot more common.
Our commander has a kind soul.
Imagine if I just went over to Santo and his just like spirit just started like it just started screaming. Like it did that animation like his limbs just detached. Like something akin to that, except it was more ruthless. Like, I mean, he has a soul. As of right now, if it's in regard to being kind, I don't know what you're speaking.
Not once have I lost sight of my purpose. The sick, the poor, the abandoned. Not once. A prosperous kingdom.
Oh wait, do you really think so? I'm glad actually someone says, like, a prosperous kingdom, like, calling this kingdom is actually, like, worthwhile staying in, instead of just, like, oh, this kingdom's mine now, or, like, you know, this kingdom could use a little bit of work. And, you know, that's...
Not show me where your solidarity lies. I don't expect anything in return.
Actually, I mean, to be fair, you say, now that I think about it, you say I don't expect anything in return. I'm gonna give you XP jellies anyway, so you're gonna get something. Anywho, I'm just gonna take you over to Silent Salt, because you seem to have you really want to speak with him. Let me hear what this is going on about. Your appearance has changed. Or whatever voices. Your appearance has changed. And I couldn't even read that quote. Thank you, Kikurun Kingdom. Why does it always do that glitch? I hate it. Your appearance has changed. There's a saying, the knight bears their commander's likeness. Okay. That is? I have never heard of such a saying. She's just like, I made it up just now. Well, you were absent for quite some time, Lord Commander. I'm sorry, I'm just too enticed seeing all this happen. Never losing an argument. I couldn't even see the rest of that dang quote because it just flashed by so fast. My gosh, I hate this when this happens. By the way, I wonder if she would... No, she does. As far as I know, she doesn't have any other sorts of commentary with the other disciples of Beast or something like that. I mean, it was up for a decent amount of time, so, like, of course I wanted to read through that, just flash by, but I think that's good enough to, like, pause past or something. Anywho... A
prosperous kingdom.
Let me just get to your, like, little menu screen just so I could see some of your information.
Let the judgment commence.
Obviously, this is a reference to the trials that she, you know, happens to heed, where, does one of her eyes blink? Which side of her is, like, it seems, obviously she's blinking, but, like, it looks like she's constantly winking at me. And that makes me wonder, like, what side of her is alive and what side of her is not. Because, like, it really seems like she's trying to struggle on to life, and that kind of creeps me out.
The names and faces of my comrades are long forgotten.
I think it was so sad when you said that, because when you slammed your staff down, you, like, very much looked up in the corner as if you reminisced for just a split moment before snapping back to your out. I mean, look.
Let the judgment commence.
Like, it looks up, and then just back to normal. Like, that is, like, this... Well, if I ever made a video, like, here's some of the most depressing cookies you could ever play. Yeah, I think this is it.
The names and faces of my comrades are long forgotten. We stand with those who need our help.
You know, I'm glad that you admit that. I just wish that you didn't kill us in the story. I understand your obvious intent is to aim for, like, White Lily because Dark Enchantress and stuff, but, like, you know, maybe some people have a heart of change.
I am bound here.
I'm assuming by here, I wish you meant the kingdom, but I'm pretty sure you're talking about the tombs that Silent Salt Cookie, you know, kept every soul.
Alive or crumbled, our solidarity remains unbroken.
Well, okay, that's just loyalty to a true bound. I feel like solidarity is like the evolution of, like, loyalty. And if that's the case, why don't I start using that term more?
Alive or crumbled, those who do not understand solidarity will never join our ranks.
I mean, you do say that, but then again, to join, you have to do a bunch of trials that involve getting clogged in the hallway, going through certain traps, and also focusing on your past. If that's the definition of solidarity, then, like, imagine what hope must be defined as.
Those who do not let the judgment commence. Alive or crumbled. Alive or crumbled. Those who do not understand.
Anything else?
We let the judgment commence. Those who do not understand. My loyalty lies with my commander.
I feel like, honestly, there's probably a lot more quotes I could get from you, but I don't think I'm just gonna get any of them.
Alive or crumble. The names and faces of let the judgment. Those who do not the names and I am bound. Those who do not understand solidarity will
I don't think
never
there's any
join
more
our
else.
ranks.
There probably is, but there's nothing else I can really get because of my stupid luck. So instead, we're just gonna go ahead and go to her story real quick to read this off, which says right here, the lone guardian of the catacombs. Silent even, as she swings her weapon, clad head to toe in heavy armor. Ages ago, this cookie belonged to the knightly order of Kalanamic, messengers of solidarity. At the time, none of the knights possessed a keener understanding of this virtue than Salt Cellar Cookie. Lord Commander's recognition led to her appointment as master of the trials. For only those who could overcome her challenges might earn the title of true knight. Yet even Salt Cellar Cookie could not escape tragedy. Once hailed as the Order's bastion, she remained in the depths of the catacombs as her gleaming armor dulled with time. Through her spirit may have withered in the endless dark, her faith has never faltered. There, where even echoes fail to return, Salt Cellar Cookie whispers softly, embrace the downtrodden, remember the tormented. So, hold on. Was she not dead? Obviously she was, but it says that she's also overgone a tragedy. Once hailed as the Order's bastion, she remained in the depths of the catacombs as her gleaming armor dulled with time. So, like, I'm assuming obviously she fell from the other, attack of the other quote-unquote beasts that, like, people apparently insulted me for not understanding, so that's just fun. But I guess maybe her spirit just, like, withered away, but then again, I feel like everyone else's would too. I mean, that's how the Solidarity eventually became Silent Salt anyway, so... Still real sad. And by the way, you just imagine, like, she doesn't have feet, so literally her dress just carries her. Which kind of makes sense, because she's kind of a ghost. So in a logistic way of putting it, it kind of does make sense. And yes, if you're wondering, here's her gacha animation.
Only the worthy shall pass. Not another step.
I don't think I've got either of those quotes when she was speaking first, but that's neither here or there. Anywho, let's talk about her skill right here, which is Knight of Solidarity. Salt Cellar Cookie's indomitable will fills the space, dealing damage and summoning 4 Kalanamic Knights. She will grant HP shields and the proven worth buff to the team. The latter will remove a mark of Kalanamic from the targets, make them immune to this effect, and increase their damage resist. The summoned Knights causes shockwaves, dealing damage and pushing back nearby targets. The Knight's attack speed can increase depending on Salt Cellar's Cookie's defense or attack speed. They'll also gain HP shields, and after receiving a certain number of hits, the Knights will deal Strike of Solidarity, stunning their targets and dealing extra damage. If Silent Salt Cookie is on the team, it will also trigger Remembrance of Solidarity, which will enhance Salt Cellar Cookie's skill and improve additional buffs for Salt Cellar Cookie and Silent Salt Cookie. Salt Cellar Cookie gains additional damage resist in proportion to her defense stat, increased with the Beast Kit. So basically, she obviously does get a buff when Silent Salt Cookie's on the thing, but she kind of does... And she's in defense, but she kind of also acts as a summoner, where it says summoning 4 Kalanamic Knights, and she also grants HP shields and the proven worth buff to the team. Proven worth gives a duration of 10 seconds. In which the latter will remove Mark of Kalanamics from targets, making them immune to this effect, and also increases damage resist. So it increases damage resist and also gets rid of that pesky, Mark of Kalanamic, which I think is very helpful in the main story mode. Also, the Summon Knights can cause shockwaves, which deals damage and pushbacks to nearby enemies. Also, the Knight's attack speed can increase depending on Salt Cellar's defense and attack speed. So if you gave her, like, maybe toppings of a defense or attack speed, maybe like Solid Almond would be more preferred, then also the Knights can just do more damage with their attack speed. Also, they also get HP shields, and after a certain number of hits, the Knights will deal Strike of Solidarity, which says Strike of Solidarity. Does it say what Strike of Solidarity? Yeah, it does right there. Triggers per 3 hits taken by Knights. It causes a bunch of Steel-type damage, and it allows stun every 1 second, with a bit of damage resist, by the way. Honestly, This seems like she could definitely be a worthwhile cookie, but I have to definitely test her out. So first of all, let me go ahead and level you up a fair amount a bit. So let's go ahead and get you some food.
There is no end to mastery.
Well, I mean, there's no end to mastery, but there's no end to eating either, I guess.
I feel like a knight in training.
If training was this easy, then man, I wish I could have become a knight so long ago.
Thank you.
When was the when was the last time a cookie actually just said thank you to like getting fed? Like, I feel like this is monumental ground we're breaking right here. I know it may not seem like a lot, but you don't hear that a lot in Kick Your Own Kingdom.
There is no end to mastery. There is no end to mastery.
I keep hearing this, madam.
Thank you.
Is this it?
I shared every last jelly with cookies of the Great Baron.
Oh, that's depressing. When was the last time you actually ate something that you didn't give it up to someone else?
I've never tasted anything like this before.
Probably because we didn't have this, like, magical XP jelly stuff back at the times of the old virtues.
I prefer salt.
I'm gonna be real. That was actually funny. Out of all the characters, I did not expect this one to give me an actual chuckle. Because, like, everything that she's said so far seemed just so distant from life. And she's just like, salt is better. Like, I could not have seen that coming from, like, many miles away.
Is there a cookie who needs star jellies?
Oh, and she actually calls them by the star jellies. Interesting.
I feel like a knight in training.
Let me get you up to level 30, just, you know, buff you up a little bit with the DPS that I want you to use in battle.
I prefer salt.
Yeah, I understand that, and we're also going to buff up your skill. You're probably going to be at, like, 30,000 power just about. Probably not too high. Yeah, 36,000 power. Obviously not too high because defenders aren't very well versed in their defense stat. Well, attack stat more like it. They're more versed in taking damage and not, you know, giving. But with her summons, she could definitely be able to manage. So let's go over to a decent level in, like, Crispy. I'm not sure if we should do World 8 in Dark. Maybe, like, World 4? I guess it depends on how hard the levels will get. I can do a level, like, well, 418, 49. Yeah, I'd say that's fine. She also has a few quotes that she can say once you put her onto the battlefield. So let's just find her real quick. I think she's all the way down there. Of course, you're not going to be super high up, but, like, you know, better than nothing at least. Where's the salt? Where's the salt? That's a knight. That's a salt. You know, oddly, Mercurial Knight and, like, Salt Cellar have odd similarities, but, like, vastly different in a way.
As you command.
Well, thank you.
A trial you cannot pass.
Okay, that's just straight up a threat.
Retreat is not an option.
Well, it's a good thing. It's either we win or we fail. So we're going to hopefully aim for the former, not the latter. So let's see what we can actually cook up here in regards to the gas or whatever. Alright, let's see you in battle. Alright, so, okay, so you just bash with a shield, or your staff, which is pretty heavy, it seems like it. Yeah, just a good old swing. Shows all the stats right here. Let's see your actual skill being put into effect in front of all these plebs.
Prove your worth.
Prove the worth. Okay, they go down, and then the salts are summoned, which they're only summoned for a short amount of time, but maybe this will be a good amount of time for them to take down some of the enemies. Yeah, okay, nice hit. And even like Cellar Salt was just like, y'all are too slow, I gotta run up. And honestly, she seems nice for like a mix of like a summoning cookie and also obviously defending first, but like with these always at your side, it seems they're gonna be actually good for tanking damage as well if you have her on the team, because it seems like she could just put the knights up all the way in front of her, and she's gonna be like, all right, can you all tank this? And hopefully you can, because then, with that being said, y'all can take the victory for us.
Victory belongs to the Knights of Kalanamak.
Well, if you say so. I mean, if you won, then I'll give that victory to you. Anyways, with that being said, I think she actually does have a formidable use, considering that she's a mix between a defender and a summoner. She's actually pretty good to have at the front, because not only is she a defender up front, but also she can use the summoned knights to also tank damage, while also giving a good amount of damage with her in the back. And the more that the knights are giving hits, they can also provide even more damage through the steel type stuff. So I think she actually is pretty reasonable. I feel like the best thing you could try and give her is either Swift Chocolate, just to speed up the process of making them get summoned, like the knights, or Solid Almond, just so it makes it so that the attack speed for the knights actually go up, because, as it mentions, the more attack speed or defense that Salt Cellar has, the more fast that the knights can actually attack. So, either or, do you want really fast attacking knights, or do you want to summon many knights all at once? Because I guarantee you, even after the skill was like over, the moments that like the knight disappeared, we still had like 3 seconds left on like the skill cooldown, because the knights do take a decent amount of time. Don't get me wrong, they weren't against strong enemies like I instructed in this video, but I feel like you can actually make something work with it. But with that being said, that's just my opinion. I know my opinion isn't the best, but it's just from a casual person who plays the game. But with that being said, if you enjoy the video, then please be sure to leave a like on it, and also share the video with your friends if you enjoy my Kick Your Run content. And if you enjoy my content in general, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of whatever I do in the future. And also down below in the description, you'll see links to all my social media, including my merch store, the Pleb Market, and also a link to my memberships, where for just $1 a month you can become a pleb and see a bunch of random stuff that you'll hopefully enjoy as a member. But above all else, I'll see you entities and guardians in the next video. Hail the Hypenese. I want to give an enormous thanks to all the members who are deciding to join the YouTube membership stuff that I have for the plebs, with the members being currently right now Jojo Sands, Blobby Eduardo, and Casual Gaming 22. Thank you all for the support, and hopefully stay tuned to see some more exclusive behind the scenes stuff, upcoming videos, and whatnot.